Lebanon's Deputy Prime Minister says the ceasefire in his country is not holding. Tarek Mitri says the Trump administration has effectively given Israel free rein to launch bombing raids whenever it sees fit. He's been speaking to our Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran about the apparent ceasefire deal made in Washington earlier this month.
There wasn't a deal. There was simply a meeting between two ambassadors at the White House, preceded by another meeting at the State Department. And they were told that President Trump had asked the Israelis to abide by a ceasefire, a desirable ceasefire. That's all Lebanon has been informed of. It's only later that we found out there was this text issued by the State Department, which speaks about the inherent right of Israel to defend itself. You know, the distinction between defensive military operations and offensive military operations in the case of Israel is never clear. It's blurred. The lines are blurred. And I think that gives them a pretext to continue whenever they deem necessary, which is what they're doing.
So does that mean that this ceasefire is ultimately worthless then? If you're pointing to this text of the agreement there giving Israel the right to act in its own interests, does that mean that this ceasefire really doesn't hold enough weight?
Yeah, I mean, the ceasefire is not total, is not permanent, is not. It's a partial ceasefire. Obviously, the airstrikes of Israel are less intensive, and they're probably focused on the southern part of Lebanon, on areas that are supposed to be part of the so-called security zone that Israel says that one of its four objectives is to create in southern Lebanon. So that they seem to give themselves a free hand in continuing whatever operations they had in mind in order to have full control on this so-called security zone. But we haven't had any airstrikes on, say, Beirut or other regions of Lebanon, which is a relief for the population, for sure.